Today, we're going to dive into two of the most common gremlins in machine learning, unbalanced classes and data mismatch. These are the kinds of problems that can make a model that looks amazing on your machine just totally fail in the real world. But don't worry, by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to spot them and what to do. Let's get right into it.
So let's start with a question that sounds a little crazy, right? Can 99% accuracy actually be a bad thing? I mean, you've trained your model, you see that incredible score, and you're thinking, awesome, I'm done. But, well, not so fast. In some situations, a near-perfect accuracy score is actually hiding a massive, massive failure. And that brings us to our first big topic, this whole problem with unbalanced classes. We're going to walk through a scenario where a model seems like a genius on paper, but is completely useless in practice, and it's all because of how the data is shaped. Okay, let's look at a pretty common example. Imagine we're building a fraud detector. This table here shows its results on 10,000 transactions. Now at first glance, hey, over 98% accuracy. That looks amazing. But wait a second, look closer. The model missed every single case of actual fraud. It got that super high score just by learning a lazy trick. Always guess not fraud because, well, that's the right answer most of the time in this dataset. This is the classic sign of an unbalanced class distribution. When one group, like not fraud, massively outnumbers the other, a model can get a great accuracy score by just ignoring the rare class. And that rare class is usually the one we care about most. For an algorithm that's only judged on accuracy, it's a lazy but, effective strategy.
So this obviously leads to a really important question. If accuracy can be so misleading, what should we be using instead? How do we actually measure what really matters, especially when we're trying to find those rare events like fraud or a medical diagnosis?
And that's where two much better metrics come into play, precision and recall. Think about it like this. Precision asks, when my model yelled fraud, how often was it actually right? It's all about the quality of the predictions. Recall, on the other hand, asks, of all the real fraud cases out there, how many did my model actually find? That's about completeness. You can see our last model had a terrible recall, 0%, because it didn't find a single one.
So how do you balance these two? That's where the F1 score is your friend. It's basically the harmonic mean of precision and recall, and it smushes them together into one single useful number. If either precision or recall is really low, the F1 score will be low too, which makes it a much more reliable metric. Of course, besides just picking better metrics, you can also fix the data itself, using techniques like oversampling, making copies of the rare stuff, or undersampling, deleting some of the common stuff to create a more balanced fight for your model.
All right, let's switch gears to our second big problem of the day. And this one can be really sneaky. You build a model, it tests beautifully, you're super proud of it, but then you deploy it into the real world and it just completely falls apart. What's going on? Well, you've probably just met the data mismatch problem.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. A machine learning model is only as smart as the data you feed it. It gets really good at recognizing the specific patterns and quirks in your training set. So if the real world looks even a little bit different, the model can get totally lost.
This is the perfect way to picture it. Let's say you train a cat detector on thousands of gorgeous, high-resolution, perfectly lit photos from professional photographers. Your model becomes an expert at finding cats in those ideal conditions. But then you put it in an app where people are uploading blurry, dark, shaky photos from their phones. The data distribution is completely different, and boom, your model's performance just tanks.
So the big question is, how can you figure out if this is your problem before you go live? The good news is there's a pretty clever diagnostic test you can run to see if you have a data mismatch issue or if something else is going on. Let's walk through it step by step.
The process is actually pretty straightforward. You take your big training set and just shuffle it all up. Then you carve off a small slice and you call that a trained dev set. Now the crucial part here is that this new set has the exact same data distribution as your training set because it literally came from it. You then train your model on the rest of the training data. And finally, you test your model's error on two different sets, your brand new trained dev set and your original dev set that represents the real world.
And here's how you read the tea leaves. If your model does great on the trained dev set, I mean super low error, but it does poorly on your actual dev set, that's a smoking gun for data mismatch. It tells you the model is great on data that looks exactly like what it trained on, but it fails on real-world data. Now, if the error is high on both the trained dev and the real dev set, then your problem is probably something else, like high variance or overfitting. The model just isn't generalizing well to any new data, even if it's from the same distribution.
So what's the big picture here? what does all this mean? The most important takeaway is that building a great model isn't just about chasing a single number on a screen. It's about being a detective, asking the right questions to really understand what your model is doing and where it's failing.
These are the questions you should basically have on a checklist for every single project. Is my dataset balanced, or is my model just taking the easy way out? Is accuracy even what I care about, or should I be focused on precision and recall? Does my pristine training set actually look anything like the messy data my model will see in the wild? And finally, have I actually run a test to check for that mismatch?
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. A working model is one thing, but a truly understood model is something else entirely. Knowing its blind spots is just as critical as knowing its strengths. If this explainer helped you out, do me a favor and share it with someone else who might find it useful, and make sure to follow us for more deep dives that get straight to the point. Thanks for watching.